Hello, Marlene. Good to see you. I got stuff all over my desk. I'm Stacy. Hey, Stacy, good to have you. We got more ladies coming on. Hey. Let's see what else we got. We got Mira and Tanya come in. All right. Let's see who else we got. We're going to give it a minute. Look at you ladies looking pretty. Comes Julie and Sharon Brenner. Good. I think we do better on Thursdays with numbers than we do on Tuesdays. Sometimes. Y'all look good today. Dang, y'all fixed up. I bathed myself and put on some makeup, but I did nothing to my hair. I pulled it in a ponytail. I was done. Sharon, do you guys have warm weather back home? Can't hear you, babe, if you're talking to me. All right, we'll wait just a second. So tonight, just to let you guys know up front, we're going to talk about roadblocks. All right, I know we talked about roadblocks, but we're going to call them out and we're going to find solutions. So while we're sitting here waiting on some ladies to show up, more ladies, we got 7 of us so far. What we're going to talk about tonight is things maybe that have got in your way, or things that are currently getting in your way that we need to solve, like we need to overcome. And I think that that's a good discussion that we kind of need to have a little bit often, just to remind ourselves, how do we stay on track when such and such happens, right? What do we do if we have a birthday party, or we get invited out by friends last minute, or other things, like we want to eat a bunch of ketchup. Right? Because man, ketchup sounds good sometimes. And I'm not even a ketchup fan. So.
Or there's 3 boxes of Girl Scout cookies in your bedroom.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I know. I heard what you said, Sharon.
I haven't ate them yet.
Well, good. I'm so proud of you. That's good. You know what I do? To be really honest, I mean, that is a roadblock. Like, you buy something like our little neighbor boys, it wasn't Girl Scout cookies, but it's those kind, I think they're called, I can't remember what they're called, but you put them in the freezer. And so they're like the cookie dough, and I used to buy them and put them in there, and it was like, oh my gosh, I'd eat all the cookies with cookie dough. I would never get them to the oven. It's like, I loved them just like that. And not very long ago, our neighbor boys came over again, and Wade bought a box, and I'm like, holy crap, snickerdoodles, put them in the freezer. I started that stuff. So I just decided I would bake them up. I just baked them up, and I went and gave them to my neighbor man. And he's a veteran. He doesn't have a wife, and I gave him to him, and I just got him out of the house. That's how I solved it, because I started that again. I was like 2, 3 cookie dough. I was like, crap. I'm like going to have 3 to 5 cookie doughs a day. It's not good. So I just got rid of them. That's how I fixed that roadblock. So that's what I told you the other day, Sharon. I would have to give the cookies away. I would have to open them, take some out of each one, set them aside for myself, like 2 or 3, and I'd have to give them away. I couldn't do it. So I commend you for being able to have them there, because I couldn't do it, I don't think. It'd be hard for me. Anyways. So there's one. We went over one roadblock. Yay! So for you, Sharon, what are you doing? Is there a certain process you're just not opening them, or how does that look?
Yeah, as of right now, I haven't opened them yet. So as long as they don't open, but I'm waiting till April 1st. And the only reason there's 3 boxes is because it's 3 different flavors. So I think hopefully once I open them, I'll just try a couple and then leave them for my kids to eat. But right now they're eating their own personal box in front of me, talking about how great they are. And I hate them.
Oh. Little brats.
Always. And my
That's,
son, he's like at 16% body fat, and he goes to the doctor and they're like, you need to gain weight. And I'm like, why don't you ever tell me that?
yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be nice? I remember when I was 50 pounds. I don't know how old I was, but I couldn't gain weight when I was a kid either. And I remember my best friend named Andrea. She hit 50 pounds before me. I was so upset. Now I'm just like, I don't even have, I can breathe like junk food in and it feels like I gain weight. I don't know. I have to be careful. So yeah, I remember those days too. They don't last long. Um, all right, so that's one. Actually, that's a really good one. What if you bought Girl Scout cookies? What if you're supporting your neighbor kid? You know, all that stuff. What are you going to do? You have to have a plan. Here's another one. You guys, if you have one, I want to hear what it is so we can talk about it. But Chrissy Yancey is going on a cruise. Actually, she left today and she has been, she said, what am I going to do? And so her and I actually have been discussing for 2 weeks what she's going to do. And, you know, she's made fast and hard rules. So she's going to enjoy herself, but she also made rules for herself. Like one thing she didn't do on the cruise was she decided that, you know, she's not going to buy the unlimited drink card because she has bought it in the past and so have I. I came back from a cruise. I kid you not, guys, a 3-day cruise weighing 10 pounds more than when I left. I kid you not, because the food and everything's included. And then I bought an unlimited drink package. So I was slamming it the whole time. Sorry, y'all. If you don't drink, but it was bad. And I was like, whoo, that was not good. So she made a plan and she said, I'm going to have, you know, such and such amount of drinks each day. This is all I'm going to have. I'm not buying the drink card. I'm going to eat, allow myself a dessert at dinner. Here's what I'm going to eat at breakfast. And she planned it out and she's giving herself where she's not, you know, I told her, I said, I don't want you to go on this vacation and feel so deprived that it's no fun. And so she had to work it out where she found balance because she's been working so hard that she didn't want to sabotage herself and come back and go, oh my gosh, I've worked for months to get this off. And now I'm going to go eat for 5 days and just do whatever I want for 5 days. And then when I come back home, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I gained all this weight and I shouldn't have done it, you know, and that's what I've done in the past. So she came up with a really, really good plan that made her not feel completely deprived, but also made her feel in control, that she could enjoy it on her own terms. And she set those terms before she left, because you guys know we always talk about without a plan, you plan to fail. It's true. So she knew she was going and she literally planned this for 2 weeks. She really did. And she wrote it out and she said, hey, she sent it to me. She said, I sent it to you and look over it. And I thought it was a great idea. So that was a roadblock for her. You know, some of us do have vacations coming up and maybe we won't be at our goal weight at that time. And so that is something we really need to think about. You guys need to think about, I need to think about, is how to navigate that and find a balance of enjoying it and not being completely deprived and, you know, having to do things on your vacation that you absolutely hate, but also not coming back with all these regrets that, oh my gosh, it was fun for that week, but now I've lost so much progress, you know? So that is something to think about and to plan for. Do you guys have any roadblock stuff that got in your way that we could discuss tonight?
I have one that kind of piggybacks off what you just said. I don't have an alcohol problem by any means, but on the weekends, we are good friends, own a bar, and we typically will go and hang out. And don't get me wrong, it'd be fine if I got a soda or water, of course, and I do sometimes, but it's trying to plan for it. So last weekend I tried a Bud Select 55, so it was lesser carbs and lesser calories, but it kind of goes to the same thing of I don't want to undo all my good that I had done during the week, but yet I still want to be able to go and have a drink probably on a weekly basis. And that I mean, we don't keep alcohol in the house, like, so it
Yeah.
isn't an issue, but I still, sorry, that's my dog. He sounds,
Oh.
we know that he has COPD. He's really old. But it's finding that balance of, okay, how do I make this not be a roadblock if I still want to do that? Or do I completely cut it out until I get closer to my goal? And I go back and forth. If you ask me on a Tuesday, yep, I cut it out. I'm not going to have any for 6 weeks. And you ask me on a Saturday night at 7:00, well, so I would say that is my roadblock, even stepping into, okay, having my game plan, then what am I really doing to put it in place in the heat of the moment?
Yeah, you have to have something that you really can live with. Because you're like, you're right. On Tuesday, it sounds great. Friday or Saturday comes, and then it's like, no, you know? And so you've got to make a realistic game plan. And that's what Chris and I talked about. You know, are you going to feel deprived? At first, it was seemed like, well, it should be strict. You know, she's going to do the strict. She needs to hit her goal. And I was like, you're going to come home regretting that. That's not good. You know, you've got to find a balance. And so for her, she found one. Now it's going to be, you know, now she's got to live it out. You know, she's there today. She sent me a picture of herself, and she'll probably watch this sometime, so I hope she does. She sent me a picture of her face, y'all. Holy cow, her face has changed since she started working with us. She looks so beautiful. And I was just, she goes, look at my face, so slim. And I couldn't even talk out the words to Wade. I said, look, Chris sent me a picture, and she said, look. And I said, look at my face, it looks so slim. And I was like, I was stuttering to try to get the words out because I started crying. She just looked absolutely stunning. So I'm just so proud of her. And she's working so hard. She really is. So Christianity, if you watch this, woman, so proud of you. She probably won't for a long time. She's on a cruise. They're leaving the shore, I think, tonight, sometime today. So that's a good one. I'm glad you brought that up too, Tanya. That's not like a vacation, but it's something, you know, on the weekends that you like to do. And so that's a great thing. Somebody else have one?
Well,
Am
I
I
was
allowed to
gonna
have
say,
another one?
Oh, sorry, hon. Go ahead, Mira, first.
I was just gonna say that because you know Angela just she's on in Phoenix now, but they did a road trip where they went to Santa Fe and then Phoenix, and they're coming back. And so I sat down with her beforehand, and we just planned like what are things that she can bring with her on the road trip, so that she's not just eating like fast food and stuff all the time and that kind of thing. So we just had brought up like little things like you can bring your like 45 calorie bread because the kids will eat that too. And then bring like, she can bring like tuna or packets or like things that would still be like healthy that she can bring with her. And that kind of stuff. And then she just said she was, gonna just tell people that she was on a dry march, so that way it just, and then they just kind of leave her alone about it. Cause she said, just cause she wants to, do as well as she can, but she, she said she knows there's probably going to be days where she goes over a little bit, but she's going to try as much as she can to stick to stuff as much as she can. So, I mean, I think it's hard, but like, if you, like you said, if you plan for it, then you have a better chance for success. So.
Definitely. I think that's a great idea. When Wade and I go somewhere, if we're going to be in the car for an hour, we always stop and get gas. And every time we stop and get gas to go on this road trip, for some reason, I feel like I need to go in and get me something to eat. I might have just ate, but it's just like this thing that I do. So now I have rules on that. I go in, and if my calories allow for that day, I will have a Kind bar or a protein bar. And I don't know what it was. It used to be a Hershey bar with almonds every time, Hershey bar with almonds and a coffee or a Gatorade Zero. And I decided I'm not going to do that. And so I started with the Kind bar, and it's got a lot of fiber in it. It's all natural. So I feel okay with that if it fits in my diet. But if not, then I will try to do a really good protein bar. And although I don't like the protein bar as much as the Hershey chocolate bar, for sure, right? But it makes me feel like I'm not completely deprived. So I'm okay with it. I don't know why I'm okay with it, because I'm not a big protein bar kind of person, but I'm okay with it. I feel fine with it. So you just have to pick and choose your You know, the road trips are really, really hard for me, especially if we're driving for 8 hours. So that is definitely something that we need to plan for, you know, like bring stuff with us. Like Twice Dailies usually has some really good snacks. I don't know if you guys know that, some healthy options. Like they'll have containers of grapes and real fruit with no sugar, and they'll have like yogurts with stuff on the top. You got to watch the granola because it gets really high in calories. So yogurt with granola on top is so good, but the calories are outrageous. And then they've got like cheese rolled up in prosciutto and all kinds of stuff like that, that are snacks that sometimes you can fit into your diet, you know? And I know that makes your fats really high, but if all you're watching is your calories and your protein, which is that's our main focus, then, you know, on those road trips, you can stop and get some of that and it really helps you out. You just got to plan it out. Definitely plan it out. Who else was saying something? I didn't see who it was.
It was Sharon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like me this week, my issue was I ended up with a sinus infection and upset stomach and didn't feel good. And now I'm on steroids where you can't really work out. So that messes up your calories and then you don't feel good. So you don't want to eat anything heavy in protein. And then just trying to recover and know what you should be doing, eating more, eating less because you're not working out, or should you eat more to get healthier, or what should you eat to make you feel better? So that was my issue this week.
Yeah. Sharon was feeling bad, number one, because she wasn't getting many calories in at all. Were you, Sharon?
No, but I was, you know, my stomach was upset and now I'm a lot better. Hopefully tomorrow I can, well, I walked today, but hopefully tomorrow I can actually go back to doing working out. But all I wanted to do was sleep.
Yeah. So what should you guys do when you get sick and you don't feel like eating? Should you go ahead and eat anyway and stuff it down? No, don't do it. You guys will make yourself sick. You know, don't do it. There's going to be times that come up like that. If you get sick, you just need to heal. I have people say, you know, I'm really, really sick. Like Sharon was not well, as she was feeling awful. And had she got up and just stuffed her stomach full of food, and she would have probably thrown up. I don't know if you would have thrown up, Sharon, but it would not be good. And then to exercise on top of that, you know, she was like, well, it's a challenge. You know what? That would have been awful too, because her body's trying to heal. And so if she would have done that, you know, then her body's got, she's using what energy she can actually try to muster up. It's not good. You guys got to let your, if you get sick, legitimately sick, you have to let your body heal. It's very, very important to get healed up because you don't want to bring your immune system down lower. Okay. When you feel like laying around and you've got a fever or an infection of some type, or maybe not even a fever, but an infection of some type or some kind of issue to being sick, or you're running a low grade fever or a high fever, do not just go on autopilot. If you feel like eating something really soft, if it's a piece of toast, if that's all you can handle, then that's what you just got to take care of yourself. What you can eat, get it in. If you can't eat very little, and I know sometimes, Sharon, you were like 300 calories or less, and you just got to do what you got to do when you're sick. Okay, guys, just take care of yourself. No way you can stuff that stuff in. Woof, I'd be ill. Who else had something, another roadblock that we can talk about? Stacey, oh, go ahead.
I mean, she can talk if she wants, but I was going to say that I had one like, I know you guys were always saying that maybe you shouldn't weigh yourself when you're on this challenge because your weight can go up and to do stuff. Well, I'm glad that someone had posted that, like, that a lot of times on the challenges, they've noticed their weight has gone up and then it goes back down later and stuff. Because like earlier this week, I stepped on the scale when on a day I don't normally do it. And I was up 3 pounds and I was like, okay, I'm not going to let it get to me because I know they've told me I shouldn't even be weighing myself. Right. But then on Wednesday, when I checked it again, I was down 2.5 pounds. So it's working out, but it just shows like I didn't let it get to me because people have been saying it, you know, the whole time. And so, but that can, be a roadblock to,
Oh, it can definitely. I have gained 5 to 7 pounds on leg day before. I kid you not, because I had a really intense leg day. And so you're breaking down those muscles and your body will want to hold water. So the first thing I thought back then, because I was new to weightlifting, was I thought, oh my gosh, I cannot lift weights because I'm gaining weight. Well, I really wasn't gaining weight. My body was just trying to recover. It was holding water, trying to heal itself, a normal process. I had probably inflamed some of my muscles because they weren't used to doing what I was doing. And there was just a normal process of healing. And so I was holding a lot of water, and who knows what I ate. I don't even know what I would have ate. So it could have been partly that too. But you know what? You're right. The scale fluctuates. A lot of times we let that scale, what is the main thing? And I talked about this that throws women off of a program like this for the most part. And I'll tell you what it is. The biggest issue that we all have is scale watching. If that scale doesn't move as fast as we should, we feel like it's not working. And, like I told you with Gina, she lost 80 pounds, but the scale was up and down and all over the place. But she said, regardless, I'm going to keep going. She took off 80 pounds. Okay. So we have to do the same. You have to know that just like that, I told you guys, same with me. I was a scale and I would get so upset and I would just want to quit. And it actually even happened to me 2 weeks ago. And I'm sitting here, your coach. I know what happens. And I was just so mad at that scale. I was like, I am working too hard for the scale not to move. And it went up. And I was just like, 3.8 pounds? Are you kidding me? And I was just like, I turned around. I was just so angry. And Wade goes, what are you doing? I said, I hate that stupid scale. He goes, you know, this is how it is, right? And I'm like, yes, but it still makes me angry. He said, quit getting on the scale. If it upsets you and you cannot control it, stay off the thing, because it's making you want to sabotage and just quit. And I'm like, right. I forgot. You're right. Exactly. I got to stay off the scale. So I'm off of it. I quit it. So who else has something that's a roadblock in your way? I have some. All right. Things that we don't think about that are roadblocks that are actually impairing. Stacey, did you have something before I move on? Because you were just smiling. No?
No, I was just smiling.
All right. Good slap, by the way. One that I thought of and another client, Sharon, brought up today was, she said, I didn't realize that I was cooking with olive oil and think to put the olive oil on my, in my food each day. She goes, because I just was cooking with the olive oil. And she said, I read the other day where a tablespoon of olive oil had 120 calories. And she goes, I just thought, well, I'm cooking with olive oil. She said, it's the healthy thing, and that's what I'm going to do. She said, I never thought to think about the calories. She goes, there was 120 calories there that I was adding and not even thinking about. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. And so that one that hits me, guys, is creamer. And I forget to log my creamer. Well, sometimes I have 3 cups of coffee. Wade will make me coffee, and he just keeps bringing it. And I was like, okay, I got to slow down on the coffee. How much creamer did you put in here? And he goes, well, teaspoon or so. And I'm like, I need to know, like, how much creamer is in here? And so I always forget to add it in. I forget to add it in, and I don't realize that sometimes it really adds up, to my day, especially if I do it every day. And there's like hundreds of calories in creamer that I've not counted all week, and I'm not losing as much weight as I thought. And I thought I could have hundreds of calories of creamer and not even be counting it. Another thing that we don't think about, and I put this up in the Bod Garage the other day, was condiments. We don't think about condiments. Ketchup, I forget how much ketchup it was. Not very much ketchup, had more calories than a donut. I was like, I saw this somewhere and I'll have to find it. One of my friends posted it, so I'll go find it and I'll put it up in the Bod Garage. but it was just this small amount of what I considered a small amount of ketchup. And it was way over the calories of a donut. And I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, you know? So those kind of things, those hidden things really sabotage our weight loss. And another one is when you cook and you just, you know, you're trying bites of this and bites of that. And you don't really realize that, hey, if those add up, all those bites that we take of everything, a few bites of this, a few bites of that, it can really slow down our weight loss. So we got to be really, really careful with that too. Right. So that was one of the roadblocks that we have. Another one, guys, that I was thinking about is one lady said, and this really hits me hard, and I don't know if you guys are like this, but a roadblock for me was I hate to go to the grocery store. I absolutely hate to go to the grocery store. And I also hate to cook. And so it was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to cook. I don't want to go to the grocery store. What am I going to do? Well, I had to make a plan. You know, I had to make a plan of, now I know when I go to the grocery store what I got to get, because I'm so used to, well, I'm out of oats, or I'm out of eggs, or I'm out of this. And I eat a lot of the same foods all the time. And so for me, now just going to the grocery store is like, oh, I buy the same things all the time. And so it's just boom, 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 done. Wade and I can be in the grocery store 10 minutes and be done. We're just both going after the things that we need. We know what it is. We put it on a list and go. Another thing that has really helped me is ordering my groceries online, because a lot of times I don't have time to go grocery shopping. And so for me, like Kroger has, you can go in and you can set up like something with click list and you can order groceries. Well, the groceries that I usually order, all of us, you know, if you think about it, when we go to the grocery store, we don't have a completely separate list most of the time. We repeat foods all the time. So building that in Kroger has really helped. You can just go in there and say, oh, here's my list of foods, my list of favorites, click, 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 I need this. And then when I'm going to pick it up at this time. So you just stroll up to Kroger, let them get in your trunk and deliver it. How easy is that? Simple, right? So that's one way to combat the I hate the going to the grocery store thing and make it on yourself a whole lot easier. Another thing about cooking is, number one was the meal planning. It was driving me nuts, like planning. Some people start this out and they make it too complicated. They want to plan something every day. Like tomorrow I'm going to eat such and such and such and such. I don't have that time. And most of us don't have that time. And most of us are not going to put that kind of time in. So it's easier to just say, okay, to make up days of meals that I like, 3 days. So I don't have to think about it. 3 to 5 days. Just these are the breakfasts I like. These are the lunches I really like. These are some dinners I really like and some snacks I really like. Put it together and save it as a day save it as like you can even save it as a recipe inside of your MyFitnessPal. And then you just use the whole thing. Just use the whole thing and go over and just that day, just repeat days, and makes it a whole lot easier, because thinking it out all the time, I just don't have time for it. So I have some days actually just written out on my refrigerator. So some days I don't even track because I print out those days and I'm just like stick it on the refrigerator and I'll eat that day over and over and over again. And Wade sees it. So if Wade cooks, he knows what Allie needs. Turkey breast today, she needs this and this and this. And he just cooks whatever I need or I do. And it's simple that way because it's just duh. You know, I don't have to track calories. I didn't have the time. And it's just the food there that I need. So it's just really easy. That's one way how I do it. So if you just create 3 days of just, these are my meals. And I know it takes a little bit of time to create those 3 days, but heck, you have days already in your MyFitnessPal. Why not go back and just repeat them? If they were great days, just go repeat those days. You know, you can go over and you can go breakfast. You know, fill in breakfast from February 22nd. Boom. I like that breakfast on February 22nd. And it'll just put the whole thing there. And then all you got to do is weigh your food and eat it. You know, and you could even repeat the same lunch and dinner. So I hope that will help you guys because it helps me. I just don't have time to like plan from the ground up all the time. And another thing is I don't make my meals complicated. I just make them so simple, like grilled chicken. And I know that gets boring, but the thing that I can do that makes it easier for me, I don't do big recipes. I just use different spices or something like that to liven up my food. And then when I have my cheat meal, I eat what the heck I want, because by that time I feel like, oh, I got to have some new flavors. And so for me, that's what cheat meal helps me with. It's like, oh, that's good. I had a cheat meal. So anyways, that's kind of how it goes for me. Any other roadblocks that you guys think of, throw them in here. What's things that kind of get in your way and slow you down?
Maybe some like quick high protein snacks. I'd love to have some ideas for that.
Yeah, definitely. You know, most women definitely have problems getting in our protein. That is so true. So thinking it out, I still have problems getting my protein in, and I always try to focus on it because I know how eating protein can change the look of your body and help you keep muscle, help you build muscle, and all of that. And it really does change the look of your body. Sometimes when you ladies go, well, the scale's not moving, but I'm losing inches. Why is that? It's because of that protein. It will, honestly, it will change the look of your body. I didn't know that. And years ago, I was probably 42 years old, and I just started lifting. And I heard that, you know, if you're going to lift weights, you're supposed to eat protein. So I started eating more protein, and my body started transforming. I didn't understand it back then. I was like, what's going on? I wasn't watching my calories. It's just I was making sure I had protein at every meal, and it changed the look of my body. So what are some of the snacks that you guys have? Because I would love to hear it. I kind of get stuck in my same protein kind of Greek yogurt, high, you know, all that kind of stuff, which is really, really good. But what protein snacks, or what do you guys have on hand that you can just get some extra protein with?
I mean, I've done like cottage cheese or like you said, like the yogurt. Also, a lot of times I'll do a Fit Crunch bar, just have it in my purse. So if I'm on the run, I always have something that I can eat if I get hungry. That kind of stuff. But it's hard even for me, it's hard to get enough protein. Even sometimes I feel like I'm just eating protein all day, but apparently I need to pick out. And I've noticed like certain things like chicken have more protein than other meats and that kind of stuff too. So, but yeah, it's always good to have more ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. Yeah. Like you said, having something and throwing in your purse, it can make all the difference. You know, like instead of stopping, if you're not going to stop somewhere and you're on the road and it's like, oh my gosh, I haven't ate enough protein today, to just throw that in your purse and have it. That's a great idea. Jerky. Some people do jerky, which is really, really good. Anybody else? What do you do for protein? Of course, there's protein shakes. You know, the pre-made ones are easy to do, especially when you're traveling. Just a pre-made protein shake. I like the ones I can mix with my coffee because it's like, I like the flavors together. So for me, it's like I'm having a cool coffee drink, and I'll put it over ice so it doesn't feel like I'm just eating another piece of chicken. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, no more chicken, please. Who else has some? Marlene, you have any? Quinoa is good. Yeah. Quinoa has a lot of carbs too, though. So that it makes it a little hard. Oh, you guys, here's one I found. So I like pasta, but I can't eat pasta, especially on a program. You can't eat pasta. It's going to be incredibly hard to do, right? Unless you're having a cheat meal. But I found this black bean pasta. I've tried what do you call those beans? Shoot. garbanza. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Wade. Garbanza bean spaghetti. I thought it was disgusting. Ooh, ah. So I found online black bean spaghetti. Holy cow, I like it. It was really good. And it has, let me go grab it real quick. I'll show you guys. Hold on.
Come on,
Hold on.
Jake. Go.
Okay. So this is black bean spaghetti. It's probably backwards, but I ordered it online and it has, listen to this, hardly any carbs at all and mostly protein. So per serving has it was $4, so it's a little expensive for this, for pasta, but it has per serving, it has 20 carbs. It has your protein, 25 proteins, 25 grams of protein per 2 ounces, 2 ounces of spaghetti. And it's good. It's not nasty at all. It's really, really good. I was like, oh my gosh. So that's only 190 calories too. So I was like blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, if I can find some low sugar, like marinara, especially instead of spaghetti sauce, marinara usually has less sugar in it, and put some Parmesan cheese on top. Hallelujah. So I was like, I'm eating pasta and it tastes good. It tasted really, really good. The fiber is out of this world too. 10 grams of fiber. 10 grams of fiber. I was like, this is like miracle food. I'm going to eat it every single day because I really like it, you know? So that is a really good one. I'll put it up in the Facebook group and I'll put a link to where I found it. I'm sure there's probably other places that sell it. It's called Only Bean, black bean spaghetti. The brand, I guess, is called the Only Bean. Made with one ingredient only, black beans. So, hey, I like it. It's really, really good. So there's that. That really helped me get some in. So I like that. Does anybody else have anything else? We're running past on time, and I just realized that. One thing that I want to mention before we go, if you guys don't have anything, is that friends. When you go out with friends and you're ordering out to eat, when they go like, you don't have to have that. You know, it's like this one movie I watched, Napoleon Dynamite. He's looking at this girl, she's trying to diet, and he goes, you can have whole fat milk if you want to. You know? And her friend's doing this, she's trying to diet. He goes, you can have the whole fat milk if you want to. And that's like my friends. If I go out somewhere with them, like, you don't need to eat that. Why are you having salad with chicken breast and dressing on the side? That's so stupid. And I used to apologize. Like I would be, oh, you know, or I would not apologize. Like, oh, I'm just, you know, I'll order something else. And I would go order something else to please them. And then when I would leave, I would be kicking my own butt. Like, why did I do that? Why? I didn't want to make that my cheat meal. It's like, why did I do that? And so I just decided that I was going to quit, number one, apologizing and trying to please everybody else, because I would apologize and try to please everybody else. And you guys just go out there. And I had one of the ladies ask me, Audrey, talk to me about this today. And she said, you know, what do you say? And I said, you know what? I just make it light and fun. Because I used to be like, well, you know, I'm on a diet. And they first thing say, well, you don't need to lose weight. You look great. It didn't matter what I weighed. I would always get, you don't need to lose weight. And I would be sitting there going, I feel awful. You know, I'd be thinking I feel awful. And then I go, well, I'll do it. I'll do it another day.
Dominoes.
So
Put that in the trash too when you're done.
And
You
so
put the
you
trash
guys,
cans out and put your trash in there,
Hold on one
dominoes and stuff. Trash has to go up nice.
so what I had to do was I had to make a plan, and I just had to make it really, really a light thing and just laugh about it. Like, you know, hey, I just want to look my best. You know, I've got a big vacation coming up, or I'm going to go do this and at this special occasion. And I'm so excited. I feel so much better, and just go on and just act like it didn't happen. So you got to plan for things like that too. Right? So plan for those because they're going to come up and you got to know what to say or you could sabotage yourself. That's all I got, guys. You got anything? Nope. All right. So when we plan not to fail. When we don't plan, we do plan to fail. So think your way through this thing. And if there's something you say, I just can't do this because, then that's a roadblock. And you need to say, no, I can do this. I just have to think for a minute. Right? And if it's something you can't think your way around, then throw it out there to me or Wade or to some of your girlfriends in your WhatsApp group and let's figure it out because there is ways around it. All right, guys. It was so great to talk to you guys. Have a great night. Keep killing the freaking challenge, you guys. I'm so excited. You guys are killing it. Love y'all. I'll talk to you soon.